It is May 26th at 7 p.m., and as Commissioner Selby gets settled here, we will call the meeting to order. This is our second regular commission meeting for May. We are in the commission chambers, continuing to be socially distanced, and are happy to have you with us tonight, whether in person or online. I hope you felt welcomed when you came in by either Captain Chris Roos and or our airport manager, Stephen Licklider, who served as the greeters this evening. And I want to introduce the people who are sitting up in front of you. To my right, your left, is our recording secretary, Cassidy Ritz. Our city clerk is actually down in front tonight, Colby Salento, and that's a result of social distancing. Again, to my right, your left, is Commissioner Dwight Selby from Zone 1, and 6 feet or so away from him is our Deputy Mayor and Zone 2 Commissioner, Troy Kent. To my left and your right, City Commissioner from Zone 3, Susan Persis. Then Commissioner from Zone 4, Rob Littleton. And then down in front again, City Manager Joyce Shanahan, Assistant City Manager Claire Whitley, and where did Randy is down there on the right, your left, City Attorney Randy Hayes. Everybody's kind of here, there, and everywhere in our social distance setup. And for those of you listening online, I'm Mayor Bill Partington. At this time, if you would silence your cell phones, and please rise for the invocation given tonight by Reverend Willie Branch. That'll be followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Father God, we first want to thank you for allowing us to come together in the midst of this pandemic. Father, continue to protect Ormond Beach from COVID-19. Protect all our residents, our visitors, everyone that passed through, particularly the fathers of our city. Then, Lord, protect our mayor, our commissioners, all the staff of the city, police department, fire department, and those that keep us safe throughout the day. But let us all remember that COVID-19 could stand for Christ over all viruses and diseases, as in Joshua 1 and 9. We thank you, Lord. It's in your name I pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. At this time, we will have audience remarks, and occasionally we get special guests in our audience, and tonight we have a special guest, and that's Volusia County Councilwoman Deb Dennies. You are recognized. Can she speak from there? That's either one. Yep.
Good evening.
Good evening.
It's kind of nice to be in the background and on the side and not in the front and center. So, good evening, Mr. Mayor and Commission. Today was a really good day for Volusia County. We had a meeting today. The County Council had a special COVID meeting today, like we do in between our normally scheduled council meetings. And I went in with the thought and hopes to have $10 million allocated to our cities from our CARES Act funding. And before I said 10 million, it was written out, 15 million came out. And I'm thinking, okay, well, you got to negotiate here. Surely somebody, my colleagues, are going to comment. To my great surprise, $15 million passed unanimously from the Volusia County Council to be allocated for our 16 cities here in Volusia County for COVID-related reimbursements. I don't know what that looks like. There's going to be some discussion. I talked with Mayor Don Burnett this morning because I thought about this about 3 o'clock this morning. It's what happens, as you know, in these positions. And I thought, well, how are we going to use this? How is the allocation going to work? The only thing I thought of was a gas tax formula. And I know my city of Port Orange is not happy with that, so I needed to get buy-in, and he agreed, Mayor Burnett agreed to use that as a vehicle so that we could disperse the dollars to the city, which is great collaboration, just so you know. And so when I was discussing it in council, it passed, and then my manager, Mr. Rechtenwald, suggested instead of using the gas tax formula, we use the population, which is what the CARES Act is based on, why Volusia County. So census, fill out your census. Please fill out your census, get counted. It's because Volusia County is over 500,000 in population that we directly received the $96 million from the CARES Act from the feds bypassing the state, and it went directly to Volusia County. So this is collaboration at its best, in my opinion, and I'm just here. I think we don't know how it's going to, with the final dollars, it's well over $1 million, I will tell you. Ormond's share that you can qualify for reimbursements for will be $1 million. We've asked staff to bring it back. We have a full council meeting Tuesday. And we have to work on the resolution and out the details, and we don't know what that'll look like. And I believe, Ms. Manager, that you have a meeting tomorrow with all the managers. I have a feeling this is going to be discussed. So however you work out the details, as long as we get you the money, how you work that out, I'm all in. I just want to make sure that we pass this money on to you, because in talking with the mayor this morning, I said, okay, Don, so tell me, give me an example of your city that's really impacted you with where you are. I said, Deb, we had to pull one of our public works employees to do nothing but walk around and sanitize door handles and keypads on, copy machines and everywhere else. So they're down one person in public works at a time when they need them the most, with a hurricane season coming up, which is another thing that we're preparing for with social distancing and PPE. We are working on it now. Out at the EOC, we've already, Jim Judge, who is so wonderful, has already got everything marked out at 110 feet for each person, and what we have to do per CDC requirements in this hurricane season coming up. So it's a good day for Volusia County, but what I realized and what I said today was, if we have a city, any of our cities, if you have an issue with your citizens and customer service, we have an issue with citizens and customer service. Because one thing all of our cities have in common, whether you're in Ormond Beach or New Smyrna Beach, Port Orange, Deltona, or DeBary, they might be members of those cities, but you're all citizens of Volusia County. So I am so encouraged with the collaboration that council gave and unanimous support, and management graciously welcomed, because he didn't know it was coming very honestly. He didn't know. Sorry about that, George. We'll talk tomorrow when I'm in for my one-on-ones. But I just want you to know it was very heartfelt from Volusia County Council and management to work with our cities, and we're going to get through this, and anything we can do to help, I'm going to turn it over to your manager, to your mayor and electeds, and we will implement. But I look forward to it. This is the first time I've been in your chambers.
Welcome.
First, not the last time. It
Right.
won't be the last time, but it is the first time. And what a view you have. Oh my goodness, you've got dolphins, and you've got fountains, and you've got waters. I have brick, lots of brick, lots of brick.
We're very lucky, and welcome, and thank you for your leadership this morning, getting this approved unanimously. It's going to be, I think I told you earlier today, we don't know yet where we're going to land financially as a result of all these additional costs that we've incurred, but this makes us feel a little better about it. We did not qualify for direct support through the CARES Act, and so the fact that the county is continuing to cooperate with us and work with us is very encouraging. So thank you, Councilwoman.
Well, I know that timing is everything. If I could do another hashtag, timing is everything in our world, and I know we're just looking at budgets now, and I have a couple cities that are really at some critical crossroads with some expenses they've had to bear. So hopefully this will add an extra cushion of relief for you and for all of our citizens. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. And we will move now to the approval of the minutes. The minutes have been sent to the commission for review, also posted to the city's website. These are the minutes from the city commission meeting of April 28th, 2020, and May 12th, 2020. Any additions, deletions, or corrections?
So move.
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign, and we will show both of those approved unanimously. Now, we will attend to a community redevelopment agency item. The City Commission serves as the CRA of the city and must review this item and make a recommendation as the CRA. Therefore, we will recess the City Commission meeting and call the CRA meeting to order. As chairman of the CRA, I'll open the public hearings and ask our secretary to read 6A.
Resolution number 2020-56, a resolution of the City Commission, also acting as the Community Redevelopment Agency of the City of Ormond Beach, Florida, authorizing the second extension of 244 days, April 1st, 2021, for the Building Improvement Grant Agreement between the city/agency and the Highlander Corporation, and setting forth an effective date. This is resolution number 2020-56, read by title only.
Thank you, Ms. Secretary, and I do not have any cards on this item. Just need a motion
I
and a
would
second.
make a motion to recommend to the commission approval of item 6A of the CRA.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor, any other discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign, and we will show that passing unanimously as a recommendation to the Ormond Beach City Commission. We will close the public hearings and reconvene the City Commission meeting, and that brings us to the consent agenda. Does anyone wish to pull anything from the consent agenda?
Move approval.
Second.
Colby, please call the vote.
Commissioner Kent,
Yes.
Commissioner Persis,
Yes.
Commissioner Littleton,
Yes.
Commissioner Selby,
Yes.
Mayor Partington.
Yes, and now would be the appropriate time if any commissioner wanted to comment on any of the consent agenda items. Seeing none, we will move to public hearings. I will open the public hearings and ask that the clerk read 8A.
Ordinance number 2020-08, an ordinance amending the utilities element and recreation and open space element of the comprehensive plan regarding the use of two parcels of city-owned land at the intersection of Airport Road and West Granada Boulevard, providing for the transmission of copies of the notice and amendment to the state reviewing agencies, the County of Volusia, and any other local government or governmental agency requesting a copy, providing for public hearings, providing for conflicting ordinances, and setting forth an effective date. This is the first reading of ordinance number 2020-08, read by title only.
Thank you, Colby. I do not have any cards.
I move approval of ordinance number 2020-08.
I second the motion.
Any discussion? Please call the vote.
Commissioner Persis,
Yes.
Commissioner Littleton,
Yes.
Commissioner Selby,
Yes.
Commissioner Kent,
Yes.
Mayor Partington.
Yes. 8B.
Ordinance number 2020-16, an ordinance annexing certain real property into the city of Ormond Beach, said properties consisting of approximately 0.44 plus or minus acres and being generally located along the east side of Plantation Oaks Boulevard, south of Plantation Oaks Boulevard, west of Old Dixie Highway, and north of the Village of Pine Run subdivision, and portions of Hammond Street, Indiana Avenue, Pennsylvania Avenue, and a 15-foot alleyway consisting of approximately 2.64 plus or minus acres, setting forth zoning privileges and obligations regarding the properties, redefining the territorial boundaries of the city of Ormond Beach to include the properties, redesignating the boundaries of Zone 1 of the city of Ormond Beach to include the properties, providing for transmission, providing for severability, and setting forth an effective date. This is the second reading of ordinance number 2020-16, read by title only.
Thank you, Colby. I don't have any cards.
Move approval.
Second.
Any discussion? Please call the vote.
Commissioner Littleton?
Yes.
Commissioner Selby?
Yes.
Commissioner Kent?
Yes.
Commissioner Persis?
Yes.
Mayor Partington?
Yes. And 8C.
Ordinance number 2020-17, an ordinance annexing 2 parcels of real property into the city of Ormond Beach. Said properties being generally located along the west side of North Timber Creek Road, approximately 765 linear feet north of the intersection of West Granada Boulevard and North Timber Creek Road. Being commonly located at 36 North Timber Creek Road, parcel ID number 4125-00-00-0221, and a stormwater pond along Timber Creek Road with no address, parcel ID number 4125-00-00-0223, including that portion of North Timber Creek right-of-way abutting the property to West Granada Boulevard, setting forth zoning privileges and obligations regarding the properties, redefining the territorial boundaries of the city of Ormond Beach to include the properties, redesignating the boundaries of Zone 3 of the city of Ormond Beach to include the properties, providing for transmission, providing for severability, and setting forth an effective date. This is the second reading of ordinance number 2020-17, read by title only.
Thank you, Colby. And again, I don't have any cards, except that I would note Mr. Storch, the attorney for the applicant, is here if needed, and also the applicant, Mr. Jaffe, is here as well if needed. So,
I move for approval.
Move approval.
Second.
2020-17.
okay,
I'll sort that out.
good deal. Motioned and seconded properly, well motioned and seconded, and any discussion? Great. Please call the vote.
Commissioner Selby?
Yes.
Commissioner Kent?
Yes.
Commissioner Persis?
Yes.
Commissioner Littleton?
Yes.
Mayor Partington?
Yes. And 8D. Thank you
Ordinance
both.
number 2020-21, an ordinance amending paragraph C, official zoning map of section 2-01, establishment of zoning districts and official zoning map of article 1, establishment of zoning districts and official zoning map of chapter 2, district and general regulations of the city of Ormond Beach Land Development Code by amending the official zoning map to rezone a certain parcel of real property totaling approximately 2.12 acres located at 321 Hand Avenue, Volusia County parcel number 4242-03-02-0202, from B5, Service Commercial, to PBD, Plan Business Development, authorizing revision of official zoning map, repealing all inconsistent ordinances or parts thereof, and setting forth an effective date. This is the first reading of ordinance number 2020-21, read by title only.
Thank you, Colby. And at this time, I'll ask Planning Director Stephen Spraker to speak on items D and E.
Good evening. My name is Stephen Spraker. I'm the Planning Director with the City of Ormond Beach. The subject property is located at 321 Hand. It's shown on the aerial above. The property is unique in that there are 3 properties around it. The city owns the property at 317 Hand Avenue, and there is an access easement that goes down the center. There's also a stormwater drainage easement. So the city bought this property, I believe, in the early 1990s, and they're somewhat interconnected. 315 is a separate parcel of land which is located right here. The application seeks 2 actions. One is rezoning from a B5 zoning district to the Planned Business Development. The reason these applications came about was there was a business who was cited for RV and boat storage, who then provided a list of code enforcement, about 30 properties, and these properties were part of that investigation. So it was determined that there was no past development orders that allowed them to do this RV and boat storage. So the first action, the first ordinance, would be rezoning it from a B5 service commercial to a planned business development. The second aspect is to issue a development order that would allow the RV and boat storage. This was the exhibit that was presented to the planning board, going basically using the existing parking in the front and the rear. At the planning board, there was 3 concerns. They wanted to increase the aesthetics by having a masonry wall along Hand Avenue, to enhance the landscaping along Hand Avenue, and then, if possible, to allow additional storage in the back part of the property. As the applicant looked at this after the planning board, his desire is to place a building here. It meets the setbacks, so he placed a building that would act as the wall and then continue the wall along here and along the side. So that was what the applicant presented. In your packet, there's this exhibit. So the wall would go along where the chain link fence is now. There would be a building here that would also act as a wall. There would be a continuous hedge that runs it. and our landscape architect identified there's an opportunity to add 5 trees to the landscape buffer. So they were seeking to both screen the outdoor storage and to add landscaping. The planning board did recommend approval with a 5-1 with the conditions that we noted earlier. Staff is recommending approval, and the applicant is here to address the commission if there are any questions.
Any questions for Stephen? Commissioner Persis.
Yes. You mentioned storage in the back of the of this building. Would they? I guess that the storage would be out in the open. Is that what I'm?
Correct. Basically, where the parking spaces are in the rear of the facility.
Okay. Thank you.
I have a question.
Commissioner Littleton.
Sir, what about any, off-site impacts for if we allow the storage there? Are there any?
No, they're really using the existing hard surface area. So the wall would replace the chain link fencing, and then basically there would be additional landscaping, so it should increase the landscape. They've already gone through and cleaned up some of the dead and dying debris along Hand Avenue, so they've done some work. So they're not going in anywhere. We looked at the rear to see if there was any opportunity to do additional storage, and there's not. That area is a stormwater retention pond, which will stay a stormwater retention pond.
Commissioner Persis.
Sorry, I have one more question. The storage in the back, would that be considered storage that is paid for, or is that just storage for the owner to put things back there?
I'll let the applicant address it. I believe he leases those spaces. So you can store your RV boat. Again, these are not full-size RVs. They're smaller type recreational vehicles.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else?
You need a motion, Mayor?
Yes.
Okay, I'd like to move ordinance 2020-21.
Second.
Moved and seconded, and thank you, Stephen, for that background. I'll ask Andy Clark, the applicant, to come forward and address Commissioner Persis's question.
Hi, I'm Andy Clark. I'm the president and CEO of All Aboard Storage, and we're not wanting to add any more storage in the back. It's just some existing parking that there's a couple trailers or something parked back there. You can't see any of that from the road, so we're not wanting to expand anything that we're not already doing, and we're talking about like 2 or 3 vehicles back there.
Any other?
Yeah, I'm all for fixing up the front. The main issue with the Planning Commission was to fix up the frontage as you drive down Hand Avenue. So that's what we're trying to do is continue to improve the property. We already put in a black aluminum gate instead of the chain link, and also the property owner that I'm not related to, but to the east of us is also trying to clean up his property as well. So that's the general idea, is to continue to fix up the property.
Thank you, Andy.
And Mr. Clark, are you going to put 5 trees back there? Are you going to add some trees in the back?
We weren't planning on it because there's no visibility from the back. It's all surrounded by woods, a wooded area, so it's really secluded.
Okay.
None of the neighboring properties can see us from back there.
As I understood it, the 5 additional trees were going to be along the front.
Just the front? Okay. I thought there was some, right here. Yeah. I thought I heard something about the back, but I guess I misunderstood. So, no worries.
Yeah, there already was a bunch of trees in the front, but one of them fell down, and we had to remove them, and then there were some stumps that we had to grind out to make it look better.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Not a question for the applicant. I have a comment, if fine.
Thank you, Mr. Clark. You can grab a seat.
The recreational vehicle and boat storage has occurred for a number of years with no negative impacts, so I'm fine with rezoning to allow the use.
Great. Any other discussion? Colby, please call the vote.
Commissioner Kent?
Yes.
Commissioner Persis?
Yes.
Commissioner Littleton?
Yes.
Commissioner Selby?
Yes.
Mayor Partington?
Yes, and we'll move to 8E.
Ordinance number 2020-22, an ordinance authorizing the execution and issuance of a development order for a planned business development to be known as 321 Hand Avenue All Aboard Storage, authorizing recreational vehicle or boat storage as an allowed use in addition to the existing warehouse mini rental use to be located at 321 Hand Avenue, Volusia County parcel number 4242-03-02-0202, and setting forth an effective date. This is the first reading of ordinance number 2020-22, read by title only.
Thank you. I don't have any other cards. Just need a motion and a second.
I move approval of ordinance number 2020-22.
Second.
Any discussion? Colby, please call the vote.
Commissioner Persis?
Yes.
Commissioner Littleton?
Yes.
Commissioner Selby?
Yes.
Commissioner Kent?
Yes.
Mayor Partington?
Yes, and 8F.
Ordinance number 2020-23, an ordinance amending paragraph C, official zoning map of section 2-01, establishment of zoning districts and official zoning map of article 1, establishment of zoning districts and official zoning map of chapter 2, district and general regulations of the City of Ormond Beach Land Development Code by amending the official zoning map to rezone a certain parcel of real property totaling approximately 4.24 acres located at 501 South Nova Road, Volusia County parcel numbers 4228-05-00-0001, 4228-05-00-0800, 4228-05-00-1600, 4228-05-00-1800, 4228-05-00-8000, 4228-05-00-9000, 4228-05-00-9100, 4228-05-00-9200 from B8 Commercial with a PBD Plan Business Development overlay to PBD Plan Business Development, authorizing revision of official zoning map, repealing all inconsistent ordinances or parts thereof, and setting forth an effective date. This is the first reading of ordinance number 2020-23, read by title only.
Thank you, Colby. And Stephen, if you would give us some background on 501.
This is a similar situation where we're seeking both a rezoning and issuance of development order. The property is located along South Nova Road and Division Avenue. This property has an existing plan, business development. It was done in the 1990s, so it goes to a regular plan business development incorporating the previous approval. This exhibit shows the locations of where they're seeking to do the RV boat storage. Again, these are existing locations. This area was identified as a future building, and I think the applicant still has intentions of doing a future building at some point, but right now it's being used for RV and boat storage. This site has the advantage of a very nice wall that hides all the RV and boat storage. The planning board recommended approval 6-0, and staff is also recommending approval.
Thank you, Stephen. Just need a motion and a second.
Sub move.
Second.
Any questions for Stephen? Any questions for the applicant? Any further discussion? Colby, please call the vote.
Commissioner Littleton?
Yes.
Commissioner Selby?
Yes.
Commissioner Kent?
Yes.
Commissioner Persis?
Yes.
Mayor Partington?
Yes. And 8G.
Ordinance number 2020-24, an ordinance authorizing the execution and issuance of a development order for a planned business development to be known as 501 South Nova Road, All Aboard Storage, authorizing recreational vehicle or boat storage as an allowed use in addition to the existing warehouse mini rental use to be located at 501 South Nova Road, Volusia County parcel numbers 4228-05-00-0001, 4228-05-00-0800, 4228-05-00-1600, 4228-05-00-1800, 4228-05-00-1800, 422-8-000, 422-8-05-00-9000, 422-8-05-00-9100, 422-8-05-00-9200, and setting forth an effective date. This is the first reading of ordinance number 2020-24, read by title only.
Thank you, Colby. I don't have any cards.
Move approval?
Second the motion?
Any discussion? Have you caught your breath?
Yeah.
Okay. Please call the vote.
Commissioner Selby,
Yes.
Commissioner Kent,
Yes.
Commissioner Persis,
Yes.
Commissioner Littleton,
Yes.
Mayor Partington.
Yes. A lot of zeros and a lot of
A lot of
dashes.
zeros.
8H.
Ordinance number 2020-25, an ordinance amending paragraph C, official zoning map of section 2-1 establishment of zoning districts and official zoning map of Article 1, establishment of zoning districts and official zoning map of Chapter 2, District and General Regulations of the City of Ormond Beach Land Development Code by amending the official zoning map to rezone a certain parcel of real property totaling approximately 2.90 acres located at 509 South Nova Road, Volusia County parcel number 4242-03-05-0130 from B8 Commercial to PBD Planned Business Development, authorizing revision of official zoning map, repealing all inconsistent ordinances or parts thereof, and setting forth an effective date. This is the first reading of ordinance number 2020-25, read by title only.
Thank you, Colby. This is the last one, across Division Avenue to the south, I believe. Stephen, if you could, just briefly.
So this property is on the other side of the street. This is the existing development. Again, they are really just doing the RV and boat storage at this location right here. They are seeking to go from the B8 commercial to the planned business development to allow the RV and boat storage. That's the location that they're seeking. As part of this, there was a budding property at 330 Collins who stated there was an issue with their stormwater flowing into their property. We had city staff and our development review engineer go out. There was a flume that was missing that the applicant has installed since the planning board. We still need to do a final inspection, but we believe that will assist in directing the water back to the street rather than going to the property behind it. Staff is recommending approval, and the planning board also recommend approval by 6-0.
Thank you, Stephen. Any questions for Stephen?
So move?
Second the motion?
Moved and seconded. Any other discussion? Colby, please call the vote.
Commissioner Kent,
Yes.
Commissioner Persis,
Yes.
Commissioner Littleton,
Yes.
Commissioner Selby,
Yes.
Mayor Partington.
Yes. And we will move to 8I.
Ordinance number 2020-26, an ordinance authorizing the execution and issuance of a development order for a planned business development to be known as 509 South Norva Road, all aboard storage, authorizing recreational vehicle or boat storage as an allowed use in addition to the existing warehouse mini rental use to be located at 509 South Nova Road, Volusia County parcel number 4242-03-05-0130, and setting forth an effective date. This is the first reading of ordinance number 2020-26, read by title only.
Thank you, Colby. I don't have any cards.
I move approval of ordinance number 2020-26.
Second.
Any discussion? Please call the vote.
Commissioner Persis,
Yes.
Commissioner Littleton,
Yes.
Commissioner Selby,
Yes.
Commissioner Kent,
Yes.
Mayor Partington.
Yes. And we will move to 8J.
Ordinance number 2020-27, an ordinance amending the future land use element of the comprehensive plan of the City of Ormond Beach by amending the future land use map to change the designation of one parcel of real property totaling 0.18 plus or minus acres located at 806 Cordova Avenue, Volusia County Property Appraiser parcel number 4242-20-24-0310 from Volusia County Urban Medium Intensity UMI to Ormond Beach Low Density Residential LDR, providing for conflict, authorizing transmittal, and setting forth an effective date. This is the first reading of ordinance number 2020-27, read by title only.
Thank you, Colby. I don't have any cards. Does anybody have any questions for Stephen on this one?
I move for approval.
Second.
Perfect. Any other discussion? Please call the vote.
Commissioner Littleton,
Yes.
Commissioner Selby,
Yes.
Commissioner Kent,
Yes.
Commissioner Persis,
Yes.
Mayor Partington.
Yes, and we will close the public hearings and move to second reading of ordinances 9A.
Ordinance number 2020-19, an ordinance regarding the office of mayor and city commissioners for Zone 1 through 4 by providing for and calling a primary municipal election of the registered electors of the city of Ormond Beach to be held on August 18th, 2020, providing for and calling a regular municipal election of the registered electors residing in the city of Ormond Beach to be held on November 3rd, 2020, providing for qualifying and election procedures, establishing a date for taking office, authorizing the execution of a memorandum of understanding for services and materials with the County of Volusia, providing for severability, and setting forth an effective date. This is the second reading of ordinance number 2020-19, read by title only.
Thank you, Colby. I don't have any cards.
Move approval?
Second the motion.
Any discussion? Colby, please call the vote.
Commissioner Selby,
Yes.
Commissioner Kent,
Yes.
Commissioner Persis,
Yes.
Commissioner Littleton,
Yes.
Mayor Partington.
Yes. And resolutions 10A.
Resolution number 2020-67, a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Ormond Beach, Florida, approving a preliminary plat for the Pellicer Acres subdivision, establishing conditions and expiration date of approval, and setting forth an effective date. This is resolution number 2020-67, read by title only.
And I don't have any cards.
I'll move Resolution 2020-67.
Second.
Great. Any discussion? Please call the vote.
Commissioner Kent,
Yes.
Commissioner Persis,
Yes.
Commissioner Littleton,
Yes.
Commissioner Selby,
Yes.
Mayor Partington.
Yes. And reports, suggestions, and requests. And tonight we start with City Manager Joyce Shanahan.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Wanted to let you know that city staff has processed about 250 business applications for the county grant program. We have about 30 of those that are under review, but the majority of those have already been forwarded to the county. I understand from the Economic Development Director that the county's economic development staff will review them, and hopefully a check will be cut within the next 2 weeks or so. The county has, we also have sent direct mail to all of our businesses that have BTRs, because we noticed, we matched that list with our BTR, and we saw some people were missing, so we wanted to make sure that everybody was aware of that program. And then Main Street and Chamber also contacted their membership. So we're hoping to catch people that may have missed that program. The second, the county has expanded their grant program from 10 employees to 50 employees and from 3,000 to 5,000. So the first tranche was for employers from 1 to 10. And then now it's up to 50, and you can get up to $5,000. Very similar application process, so we're hopeful that that expands that program and folks are going to be eligible. Not-for-profit grant program is under development by Volusia County, so we're excited about that because we have a number of not-for-profits in Ormond Beach, and certainly many of the food banks are suffering, and they could really benefit from that. As you heard from Volusia County Council Member Deb Denny's, that they've approved a $15 million grant to cities. Depending on how you divide that population, Ormond Beach is about 9.8% if you exclude the unincorporated areas, so we could stand to receive, as she said, well over $1 million. We're not sure to what extent you're going to have to qualify those expenditures, but we've been keeping track of those since the beginning of the epidemic, so you may have noticed that we've installed plexiglass shields in some of our locations, PPEs, masks, hand sanitizers. We, like Port Orange, have been sanitizing regularly restrooms. We've increased the sanitization of all of our facilities from our cleaning contractors. So we will work hard to ensure that we get every penny of that money that is released. As you know, the governor last Friday released all restrictions on youth activities, including organized sports. We have heard that the soccer program doesn't usually play in the spring. I mean, they have an early spring, but they're not going to resume or try to play any ball before the fall. OBYBSA is trying to determine if there's any interest from their parents to do a short season in June. If there is any interest, then they'll try to stand that program up. If not, it's going to be tough because you need 9 kids to play ball, right, on each team. So if not, I understand that they'll refund any outstanding fees that have been paid. All recreation facilities are open. We have reservations for pickleball and indoor pickleball, indoor basketball. On June 2nd, the casements will open. They're not open on Mondays, so they will resume opening on Tuesday, June 2nd. They will have self-guided tours. They have an app that allows you to do that, and they'll keep social distancing. The Environmental Discovery Center will be open, but again, that's going to be limited because that's a small area, and you're not going to be able to get too many people in there at one time. It's really interesting, though. The outside of that facility is heavily utilized anyway, and it is regularly heavily utilized. They've got that big, lovely porch on there that people eat lunch at, or children are sitting at the dock or out back looking at the fish, so it's really exciting. This next couple of weeks, we're in budget review with departmental directors, including budget, including capital and operating expenditures. So we'll be ready to have a discussion with you in June. The Planning Board, Board of Adjustments had their first regular meeting last week, and the Planning Board will resume their regular meetings beginning June 11th. That's when their next regularly scheduled meeting is. City staff has a meeting with the county and to discuss Avalon Park on May 28th, and then a meeting on June 1st with the county, Daytona Beach, and Avalon Park. So we'll update you when that happens. Your next regular meeting is June 9th. Your budget workshop is June 23rd, and I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. Any questions for the city manager? Next, we will move to the assistant city manager, Claire Whitley. Thank you, Claire. And our city attorney, Randy Hayes.
Nothing tonight, thank you.
Thank you, Randy. And tonight, we start with Commissioner Littleton.
Thank you, Mayor. I hope everyone had a happy Memorial Day. I did want to thank the County Council and Deb Denny's for bringing us funding to the localities. I know the National League of Cities has been trying to do that at the federal level, but there's various reasons why that didn't come through for small cities. And it's going to, we really took a hit in expenses with COVID-19, and this is going to help us greatly. Furthermore, I wanted to thank Tom Leake's office and staff. I had some citizens worried about unemployment and trying to maneuver through that system. I know it's been sort of broken, and they did an excellent job. And of course, Joyce forwarded my concerns to them, and they took care of it. So, and with that, I'll say good night.
Thank you, Commissioner Littleton. And Commissioner Selby.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a couple of comments. First of all, I'm really grateful for the rain that we've had the last couple of days. I think that will take some of the pressure off the reuse system because people won't need it as much to water their lawns. But I just got to say that I continue to get complaints from what I consider, these are people that I know who are credible, that one person showed me a video of extremely low pressure at their house. Another person who is very knowledgeable in the field of irrigation says he hasn't had any reuse for weeks. Both of those are on the peninsula north of Grenada. So, this is an ongoing problem, and I said at our last meeting that I view the two things that need to be done are we need more storage, because we right now can only store about 8 million gallons, which is basically 2 days worth of effluent or a little bit less. And two, we need to go to meters. The residents, right now, the deal with the residents of Ormond Beach is I can use as much of this as I want, and it costs me either $16 a month or $8 a month. Why there even is a disparity in the charges for different areas, I'm not really certain about. But, and that deal needs to change. And the residents need to pay for the water that they consume. And the only way to get to that is to have meters. And so while I, fundamentally, I'm essentially opposed to that, I would prefer that they just use however much they want. However, there's not enough. The good news is that we haven't put one drop, we haven't put 1 gallon of effluent into the intercoastal waterway since I believe it was early February, right, Sean? So that's great news. The bad news is we have a service out there, we have a promise to our citizens that we're not living up to as the city, because they're promised a service that they're not getting. It's great that we're rebating the May charges, but that really doesn't fix the problem. So I'm all in on reuse because I don't want the water going, I don't want the effluent going into the river, but if we're going to do this, we got to do it right. I also wanted to say that I really want to encourage the schools to commit to being open in the fall. I still haven't heard that. I don't know, there are a couple of people here that ought to be able to comment on that. But we really need the schools to go back in the fall. It's not really the fall. It's August 10th or 12th. It's late summer. But we need to hear that from the school board. I'm really glad to hear that all of the recreational facilities are open. That's really important. And in case you hadn't heard, Hertz declared bankruptcy today. They declared Chapter 11 today. Hertz Corporation. Okay? That's just the beginning, in my opinion. I think there are going to be many, many, many companies. And when you think about Hertz, they're not going to go out of business. But what they're going to do is they're going to restructure all their debt. So what does that mean? That means millions and millions of dollars is going to get crammed down on financial institutions. Shareholders are probably going to take a gigantic hit. So this thing is a long way from being over. The impact of it, the waves are just going to keep rolling and rolling and rolling in. And we got to do everything we can to help people get back to work because they need the cash flow. They need the regular income to be able to pay their bills. And we can't, the federal government, I know the Fed, Jerome Powell, well, we can print lots of money. We can just keep printing money. Someday that money's got to get paid back. And if it doesn't get paid back, what happens is hyperinflation. There's no other way. You can't just make it up. Finally, I just want to mention that I had a phone conversation and then a face-to-face meeting with Bayat Kali of Avalon Park, and what I want to say is that I believe that he is even though he recognizes the developer of Avalon Park, even though he recognizes that he really doesn't need Ormond Beach's consent to develop that. Really, he really needs the city of Daytona Beach and Volusia County to move forward. He doesn't want to do it that way. This is what he told me. And I drilled down on him pretty hard on this, that he really wants this to be a win-win-win. He wants Ormond Beach to support, and I told him I thought that was a stretch, but he wants us to support the project and really put it out there that I really believe that this is our opportunity to take to him, and Commissioner Littleton, I'm going to, when you ask for options, the staff bring us options, I really think that that land will get developed. If it's not Avalon Park, it will be some other developer. And I think that now is the opportunity. This may be the opportunity to get all of the things that we would want out of that developer or out of that development opportunity. So I just kind of throw that out there that I think he's very credible. I think he's building a town, not just a whole bunch of houses, so there's a lot of traffic, which I know has been challenged, that stays within the community, within his town, but that, it could potentially, well, it's going to happen. If it doesn't happen now, it's going to happen somewhere in the future, and so I would just say, and I think because of the financial wherewithal of Mr. Colley, that I believe that his project is going to happen. And with that, I'll say good night.
Thank you, Commissioner. And Deputy Mayor Kent.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Memorial Day, unlike any I've ever experienced in Ormond Beach. We did have a great opportunity to have a discussion with Wyatt, just to reinforce why we had those changes this year and the real meaning of Memorial Day. Online, there's a great article about Officer Greg Stokes and what he did in our community with Ormond Beach Middle School, the great partnership we have with the city and the school. And last but not least, I have had nothing but great comments come from our community about the names of our Ormond Beach graduating seniors all over our bridge. And it just, again, shows the type of class in Ormond Beach and that Ormond Beach truly is the best. Have a great evening.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. And Commissioner Persis.
Thank you, Mayor Partington, and good evening, everyone. It's nice to be back here again. I'm always glad to see everyone. I just want to talk about the schools. Two things. First of all, I agree with Deputy Mayor Kent. The banners about the graduating seniors is fantastic, and there's been so many unique celebrations that parents and the schools have done for our kids. And I know Seabreeze had a really nice one. I know OBMS has done great things in the elementary schools as well, with the signs in the yards and so forth. So, again, it brings us all together, and we are a great city. And even though we can't have this, the graduations that we're used to, I do think the kids are being recognized and feel very, very special. So I'm very, very happy to see that. And I just want to tell all of you, and mention, I know Commissioner Selby said, we want schools to be back. Well, I don't think there's anyone out there that doesn't. I mean, I really do. I think the kids want to see their friends. I think the parents know that, they want their kids to be back in school, because that's really where everything's really, really happens. I know parents have done a fabulous job. All the parents I've talked to working with their kids, from preschool kids to high school kids, doing this distance learning and online learning. It's been a challenge for everybody, even the best of people that are educators. But I think everyone's really pulled it together and done quite well. And I think I would see that the hardship would be, how is it going to work? And I believe that's what everyone's working on now. How are we going to do it to keep everyone safe and to not have as many germs, especially with the little children. But I do feel like it's going to happen, and we all may have to change some things and do some different things, but I think it can work. So I'm excited about that. Like I said, I know the teachers have had to really take a step into the world of technology. Some of them were not as comfortable with, and I know they've done it and they've learned and they're moving forward. So I think I think it's going to all work out. So very excited about that. And I was also thrilled to have Deb Denny's come here and tell us about this $15 million grant that they, unanimously voted for all the cities in Volusia County. That's just absolutely thrilling, because I know everyone's really had to put a lot of extra money in. So that was just a very positive thing to hear tonight. So I don't have anything else. So with that, I'll say good night to everybody.
Thank you, Commissioner Persis. And I'll just close by thanking Deb Denny's for making the trip. She didn't have to be here, but she came and gave us the good news, and we're appreciative of that. I think, Commissioner Selby, I hear what you're saying about the economy, and I'm hopeful we'll be getting to phase 2 soon. Our residents seem to be very pleased with some lesser restrictions, and I think we had a very busy Memorial Day on the beach side, and our restaurants are starting to come back. Our residents have done an amazing job with the social distancing, with denying the virus a host and flattening the curve. And so I'm optimistic, cautiously optimistic, I guess I'd say, that we can get cranked back up again as soon as possible. I guess phase 2 will be next at some point. We're waiting on that announcement, and can't get there soon enough someday. But our residents have done an amazing job, and it's a result of their hard work and efforts to make that happen. Staff has stepped up all the way along and done an incredible job, whether it was fire or police for IT, our PIO, Joyce and Claire and Randy, just amazing work dealing with all the intricacies that this pandemic brought with it. Staff with the Bridge Banner program, putting together Memorial Day, all those different little things that popped up that you weren't expecting, and you've handled them well. And so I'm encouraged by that and pleased by that. One of the positives, and there's some odd positives that come out of a situation like this, are I've seen so many people using our parks and our trails and our boat ramps, and whether it's Andy Romano Park, whether it's the boat ramp across the street, I mean, just hundreds, people biking, people walking, people running, hundreds and hundreds of people all around the bridge through Central Park. That's been very encouraging to see those areas so well used, and so wanted to point that out. Commissioner Selby, on the reuse, I spent probably half an hour talking over that with the city manager this morning, and so grateful for the rain, but that continues to be an issue that we have to work on. I agree with you, more storage. I think the interconnect with Holly Hill, as a last resort, meters, I'm still willing to look at that. I'm not quite there yet, but Joyce, I'd like more information, and I don't know if the rest of the commission would as well, but now with the new schedule, I'd like to know which neighborhoods are allowed to water when, and if it's addresses, give me that information. How many gallons a day different areas are using, I'd like that information. And I think by really putting a magnifying glass on this issue and encouraging staff to make it a super priority to get this problem fixed, we're going to get through it, and hopefully soon we'll be getting more rain on a regular basis. That'll take a little of the heat off, but it's just something that needs to be continued to be dealt with, and I'm sure that's happening based on the conversations I had this morning. They're well on top of it, but it just can't happen soon enough. So with all that, at 7:58, we will be adjourned. Thank you all very much.